Welcome to Brea Talks, an insider's look into topics that affect your experiences in the city of Brea. Whether you live, work, or play here, we're bringing you the information you need to better understand your city. So now, we invite you to listen in as Brea Talks.
Hello and welcome. I'm Aimée Matsumoto, and today Brea Talks, shopping and dining in Brea. With the holidays fast approaching, the shopping season is in full swing, and of course, with patrons out shopping and restaurants have their menus ready to refuel these shoppers. Personally, I know shopping makes me hungry. It's a sport. I had a chance to sit down with two different guests individually to discuss the benefits, both directly and indirectly, of shopping and dining in Brea. First, I spoke with Brea's Community Development Manager, Melissa Furio, to learn about why it's so important to remind people to shop and dine locally. Hi, Melissa. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Hi, Aimée. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. So welcome to the podcast. It's your first episode recording with us. I want you to tell us a little bit about yourself and your role here in the city of Brea.
Absolutely. So I began my employment with the city of Brea in 2008. So I've been here just over 17 years in various capacities, starting in the Community Services Department. Then I went to the city manager's office, and now I'm in community development, overseeing administration, housing, and economic development. For my schooling, I attended UCLA for my undergraduate degree, Go Bruins, and Cal State Fullerton for my Master's of Public Administration with a focus on public policy. Prior to getting married and moving with my husband, I was a Brea resident for 7 years, and I know and love this community dearly.
Oh, that's so impressive. Let's get into it. Economic development is a division of community development. But what is economic development exactly?
Sure. So economic development encompasses so many actions and efforts, all of which are intended to really advance the quality of life in a city. The California Association for Local Economic Development defines it as the creation of wealth from which community benefits are realized. It's more than just a jobs program. It's an investment in growing your economy and enhancing the prosperity and quality of life for all residents. So really with that statement, economic development in a city can range from anything from public safety efforts to keeping our community safe, public works, keeping our roads paved well, and even new parks projects in the city that will bring new visitors. But for the purposes of this podcast, I oversee the Economic Development Division, and we interface with the business community the most. So that's who we'll be focusing on because they make our city thrive economically.
Let's see. Can you tell me how that's applied to Brea specifically?
Sure. So the way we see economic development in our division is we see it in a lens of various goals, which include, different topics. So really starting with the business attraction program, as well as our business retention and expansion program, those all seek to either find new businesses that we want to try to attract to the city or ones that are existing already within our city that we'd like to retain and keep them here in our city and keep them thriving, even to the point where they're expanding. So that's one focus of economic development, as well as workforce development, finding different trainings and upskilling that we can provide our community, as well as providing ways to enhance our tourism and visitation to the city through our Experience Brea campaign, as well as our economic diversification efforts, right? So having multiple streams of revenue that come to the city to make our city thrive.
Wow, that's amazing. Can you give us an example or maybe even a little bit of history on how you can see Brea's economic development and how it has evolved over the years?
Absolutely. So Brea is rooted in being a leader in the oil industry, starting even from the early 1900s, perhaps earlier as well. And that brought so many jobs to the city and really established it as a larger community. So with bringing jobs to the community, that immediately has economic impacts that create, those effects throughout the city. And, with that, there's been past city leaders who have done an immense amount of work to create Brea to be what it is today through various decisions from leaders such as ones who advocated for the 57 freeway to run through the city of Brea, bringing that thoroughfare and that activity through the city in a transportation capacity. Also, leaders have advocated for past projects and developments to occur within our city, ranging from having an established downtown, which we're very fortunate to have, along with, the mall that's in our city. Those things don't just happen in a vacuum. There's a lot of leadership and a lot of efforts that happen to create Brea, to make it what it is. So just talking about just generally history and those topics, I think that kind of sets the groundwork for where we're at today.
That's perfect. And that goes with our city motto, right? Oil, oranges, and opportunity. And I think our early leaders really saw that in the foundation of creating the city. So I think we're always creating these opportunities for businesses and for our city as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So with that, what makes Brea a unique business community? Why do businesses choose Brea?
Sure. I think there's a lot of components here. I think you start just, geographically, our location. So Brea sits on the edge of 4 major counties in Southern California. We have a strong access to workforce, a strong regional labor pool. A daytime population suggests a high employment base here in the city of Brea. And that's due to, access to major thoroughfare and the city's located near many regional attractions as well. So with that, we've been able to establish a really active and involved and diverse community. We have established businesses that have been here, many years, businesses that have set up their headquarters here in the city of Brea. And that's what benefits us as being over 100 years old, having these established businesses here for so many years. Also, Brea supports a variety of industries. We can think about all of the premier shopping and dining in the city, but Brea also has industry leaders, from manufacturing, warehousing, logistics, distribution centers, beyond just our retail and entertainment. So this diversification can make our local economy strong and more stable and gives flexibility, really, to our economy. Also, but going back to a little bit about the areas that Brea has developed, so our downtown, it's a very vibrant, walkable, mixed-use district, along with the Brea Mall. The project that's going on is a mixed-use project as well that we're seeing new businesses open constantly. And overall, I think that just leads to the welcoming nature of what we hope to be as a city, which is being business friendly. That starts with us at the top with our city council and our staff. I think I'd like to say we really care about our business community. We want to see them thrive and be that business friendly local government with a supportive environment.
That's great. So in a few moments, we're going to hear from Brea's Administrative Services Director, Monica Lowe, about the direct impact shopping and dining in Brea has on the city's general fund. But before we conclude our talk here, can you tell me, in your opinion, besides the direct impact on the city's budget, the 3 biggest benefits to shopping and dining in Brea?
Yes, I'd be happy to. So, looking at the city of Brea, to shop and dine here within your city is so important because what it does, it's really the community giving back to itself. So whether you think about mom and pop shops, those benefits of shopping locally, it benefits those employees, it benefits the owner, who then reinvests back into our community. So it's really a cycle, and almost you could call it even like an ecosystem, right? You're adding to their quality of life as they add to yours, being here, being local. So you can't really have a balanced community without it, and every input really has a responsibility for the outcome. So I think also another benefit of shopping and dining in Brea would be just the convenience factor and the proximity to also local amenities, but also major thoroughfares. So thinking again about some of the projects and shopping centers throughout our city, you can park your car one time and do essentially so much of your shopping and dining all within that same center. The walkability that we have in our city is something that I think really benefits our residents and visitors. And you can shop and dine at once because of the proximity of everything. You can see a movie, you can seek entertainment options, and get your shopping done all in one fell swoop. And that really contributes to our environmental design of the city, even thinking larger from reducing our carbon footprint, trying to start creating behaviors and habits that really over time helps the environment too, I'd like to say. As well as just generally, I'd see such a huge sense of pride and ownership that is felt throughout this city. Brea is such a welcoming place. You know, we're compared to maybe some of the other cities in Orange County that have these premier amenities. We're pretty small, but we're robust, and we have major employers, headquarters for major businesses, those premier shopping centers, an established downtown, really great quality of life through our aesthetics. And ultimately, we treat our business owners, our developers, and even our community members, we treat them as partners because what they're doing makes our quality of life here in the city better.
Oh my God, I love that so much. And I just want to give you just a little bit of I guess people were conversing in the office, and over the weekend, I can tell you that a lot of our staff members came to Brea to shop. And it was packed. And I will let you know, too, I couldn't find a parking spot in a lot of these shopping centers. So I think Brea is doing such a great job with their economic development approach and bringing businesses to Brea. So I think you guys are doing a great job.
Thank you so much. That's great to hear.
So thank you so much for coming on. I know there is so much more to economic development. Would you please come back and share more about what Brea is doing for both patrons and businesses?
You bet. Just name the day.
Sounds good. Next, I talked with Monica Lowe, Brea's Administrative Services Director. We talked about the direct impact local commerce, like shopping and dining, have on a city's budget. Let's listen in. Hi, Monica. Thank you for joining us today.
Hi, Amy. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. All right. So we just talked with Melissa about economic development, but I want you to tell us a little bit about yourself and your role here in Brea.
Gosh, where do I start? Well, I have over 25 years of experience in municipal finance and audit. I also have a Master's of Science degree in accounting from St. Mary's University. I've been here with Brea for a little over 4 years and serve as the Director of Administrative Services, overseeing accounting, budget, revenue, purchasing, and information technology.
Okay, so regarding the budget, everyone hears budget and they think money out or something negative. However, any local government agency needs money to pay for services that help with improving the infrastructure, public safety, and community services programs. Where does the majority of that money come from?
Amy, that's a great question. In order for us to spend, we need to have funds coming in. So our two top revenue sources are sales and property taxes, which account for about 58% of our total general fund revenues.
Oh, wow.
Our number one source of revenue is sales tax, which is approximately 37% of our total general fund revenues.
Wow. And for the purposes of this discussion, we're going to be focusing on sales tax because that generated through businesses here by selling goods and services, correct?
That's correct. So the City of Brea's total sales tax rate is about 7.75%, which is still lower than all of LA County and one of the lower sales tax rates in Orange County. The city receives 1% on every taxable sale made within the city. So as mentioned earlier, to fund services such as police, fire, and parks.
And that's why I shop Brea, a very low sales tax. Yeah, I like that.
Yes.
How much does the city see of the sales tax generated in Brea?
So the city receives 1% or 1 cent on the dollar. That doesn't sound like a lot, but when you consider the amount of businesses Brea has, the mall, the downtown, and all the shopping centers throughout the city, it does add up.
And we're currently in the fourth quarter, correct? The holidays fall in the fourth quarter.
Yes, we are currently in the fourth quarter for the holidays, and it's typically our highest quarter of the year for sales tax revenue, which is definitely driven by holiday shopping in Brea. But it's important to note that although the fourth quarter is the highest of the year, it may not be the highest year after year.
Okay, good to know. So can you explain, or is there a difference between online shopping and shopping locally?
Yes, online shopping is a little bit more variable. Like we are not most likely not going to see a lot of the revenues that come in through online shopping versus if you were going to shop locally in Brea.
Oh, okay. I think it's important for people to get a perspective, not only of the convenience, but also one of tangibility of when you shop. Something they can choose to do has the ability to directly impact the services they are provided on a daily basis. And if you choose to shop online, then they won't get the full benefit, I guess. Right.
Yeah, that's correct. And something as simple as getting gas or morning coffee in Brea keeps the sales tax money in Brea.
That's awesome. So we were talking before we started recording, and you mentioned something I wanted to revisit. You said you don't live in Brea, but you were saying how much you love working here, not just because of your job and your coworkers, but because of what Brea offers in shopping and dining.
Yeah, that's correct. While I do love my job and my coworkers, I do love shopping, and I love how convenient it is for me to just shop and dine here in Brea. My family and I often return on the weekends to enjoy Brea as well. And actually, this past weekend for Black Friday, we came over and shopped at the Brea Mall and the Target. And yeah, it was nice to see everybody out and about.
I know, that's amazing. I'm surprised I didn't bump into you. So thank you so much for sharing, and thank you for coming on the show.
Oh, thanks for having me. This was great.
And that's it for this episode of Brea Talks. This episode and all episodes of Brea Talks can be heard wherever you get your podcasts, as well as on Brea TV and our Brea TV app. Don't forget to follow, like, subscribe, rate, and review, and we'll see you next time. Thanks again for listening in as Brea Talks.